Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and this is going to be an update video, an update from the previous update video, essentially. I think just to tell you what's going to be going on the channel with regards to Everquest. I've sort of I'm thinking about sort of what I'm going to be doing quite a lot in Everquest since the previous video. I'm not going to be playing a cleric, as you may have discovered. You may already have noticed. What I'm going to be doing essentially, I think, is let me just gate back to. You're going to see some low-level barbarian gameplay in this video. Essentially, I'm just going to gate back to Halas. I'm going to go and sell some stuff, and then we'll head out and do some more, probably gnoll killing, I would imagine. I thought it might be quite nice to have a look around Halas. I love the whole. I mean, I love snowy environments in games. I mean, if I could play, that's why I'm quite excited about Velios coming out. I want to get a character who can actually go there, because yeah, I mean, if I could spend all my time in a snowy environment in the game, that'd be awesome. But you can't, so there you go. But yeah, we'll have a look around Halas, because that's a pretty great city. Yeah, so Everquest. Before I start talking about Everquest, I should mention something else actually. On the last video, someone sent me a PM about should we swim across this really cold lake? Yeah, come on then. It's going to be pretty slow, but we'll give it a go. On my last video, I had a PM from someone, and I think I'm thinking about it. Rightly so, I think. I think in the previous update video, I think I kind of gave the impression that I don't like listening to teenagers, or I don't want teenagers making videos. Just forget it, teenagers. Don't do it. And I think if anyone got that feeling from the video, then I think probably I put it across in the wrong way. What I was talking about, I think, really is that I think not just people who are creating gaming videos, but I think YouTube videos in general. There's a certain tone and style now that people are adopting. Because people watch them, I guess that's what people want. It's for me. I don't want to see. I mean, I don't mind wacky, but wacky to me is Monty Python. Wacky to me is not some. With the greatest respect, just being perfectly honest, wacky to me is not some young kid, trying to look like Justin Bieber, pulling a strange face and. Yeah, and sort of talking about whatever it is they're talking about. That's not wacky for me. That doesn't do it for me. And I think that's what I was talking about more is sort of the tone and the style of the video, because I'm not ashamed to say that I do watch videos, gameplay videos generally, content that's created by younger people. I don't have a problem with that at all. But if it's as long as it's kind of fairly intelligent and put across in the right way, I think that's kind of what I was talking about, and maybe I didn't put that across very well. So yeah, I don't have any problems with watching videos created by anyone of any age, assuming that they're intelligent, and their point is put across well. And it's interesting to watch and listen to. That's not to say that I think mine are. I'm sure a lot of people watch my videos and think, well, God, fed up with listening to this old duffer. He's a right boring git, and probably don't watch any other videos again, and that's fine. That's the nature of YouTube. You're going to get people who, Golf Bear Soul, what a name. You're going to get sort of people who like your videos and people who don't. That's just how it works. I think my sort of style of delivery and the way I do things is probably obviously going to be less popular. That's because if you watch YouTube seems to think that people want a certain thing, and that's kind of what they go for. I've come back here and I'm just floundering now. I did come back here to sell a load of crap, so let's sell a load of crap and move on. Yeah, but just finish on that point. I've actually got absolutely no problem with anyone of any age. And I suppose the thing is that I guess. Why would anyone care what I think, really? But I guess I suppose again that's kind of the nature of YouTube, isn't it? We watch people's videos and maybe we get to we do take on board what people say, particularly if we like their videos. So yeah, that's probably where I'm just selling some crap here. That's probably where I probably should have maybe have been a bit more aware. But yeah, but I certainly have no problems watching videos that are created by anyone of any age, essentially. But I do have specific requirements for what I like. and if I don't find that on a video, then I just won't watch it, you know. But yeah, I think it's. I mean, on the point of people creating videos, I think it's a shame that YouTube's got to that point where a couple of nice necklaces. I'm sure there's probably a quest for those, but I don't have it at the moment, so we won't worry. Loads of small bags. You know, I don't. I'm not a. This character actually, this new character, he does have some fairly decent bits, kindly donated by another kind Everquest player. I probably need to give them back to, actually, depending on probably need to give them back to him depending on what we're going to be doing on a gamey front, because but I'll come to the whole what I'm going to be doing shortly. Let's have a little tour around Hallas, but just to just to finish on that point. I think this person, I think probably rightly so, got the impression that I was saying that I can't bear listening to teenagers on videos, and that's certainly not, or young people in general, that's certainly not the case. I just think it's a shame that YouTube has adopted certain things, you know, certain tropes, etc., that everyone's adopting, that I just generally don't really find particularly interesting or entertaining. But there you go. And even I've even seen older people doing it. You know, I mean, from a YouTube video watching point of view, I watch very little now. I have to be perfectly honest, because but even people I used to be, or people I'm still subscribed to, you know, people who are older, you know, sort of, you know, mid-20s sort of onwards, you know, even they've started to adopt this you know, these sort of memes and things that you see, and that's just not what I'm looking for. So I've kind of almost stopped watching videos. I have to say the only person I actually look out for now, when videos fall into my subscription box, is Level 1 Undercon. You know, I mean, I can't get enough of those videos. So whenever a new one of those pops in, I'm always excited. But yeah, so that's another thing. I think that's partly to do with creating videos as well. Because I'm creating content, I've become a bit less interested in watching content. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's have a look at some of the shops here. Obviously, Hallas has got a sort of Celtic, a Scottish theme. McQuaid's Dark Stout, McDonald's Fire Cider, McDaniel's Smokes and Pipes, Max Kilts. I think the McPherson's Bloody Blades. I think the devs just looked at a. They've sort of brought up a you know, sort of a Scottish name website, went straight to the M's and picked all the mucks, I think, by the looks of it. Which, to be fair, you know, there are quite a lot of mucks up in Scotland. But yeah, that seems to have been what they've done. But I like it. It gives it a great flavour. I've got a bit of Celtic blood in me myself, so yeah. No problem with that at all. This is the Shaman Guild. It's become a bit of a tour of Hallas, isn't it? This is the Shaman Guild down here. Margin McCann, she's the guild leader. She's the one that you give your note to at the beginning of the game. Seamus Felligan, he's always there. Staunch, bare-chested. He's one of the trainers. There we go. So that's a Shaman Guild. I must confess, I'm not sort of. Whenever I've played a barbarian, it's always, well, I mean, I've sort of on live, I only really got anywhere with a druid. But whenever I started the barbarian, because I quite like the race, it was always a shaman. Never got particularly far, unfortunately. I think this is the bank in here. I think this guy here is the bank. Yeah, let's convert some of this money to its lighter form. There we go. Okay. And I think you've got. I think the only other two classes barbarians can be are warriors and rogues. I think. I don't think there's anything else that they can play. It's kind of. I think it's kind of in a circle. Actually, you can go all the way around. Here's the shop area again. There's some few quests here. I think that we'll probably look at some point. That might be quite interesting. I say that, you know, it all depends on what I'm going to be doing from a character point of view, and I should probably get onto that. I quickly decided that probably the cleric was maybe too far the other way. My plan is to still put myself into sort of, you know, situations that I don't normally put myself into, you know, sort of out of the comfort zone. I won't mention that that anyway. I hate those kind of, I hate sort of cliche sort of comments and taglines and those kind of things. There's so many of them in sort of the workplace now that people use. Like reaching out. I reached out to Bob. Yes, oh, fuck off. that's the way I look at it. Yeah, so I won't say out of my comfort zone. That's the last time I'm going to say it. But that's essentially what I'm going to be doing. But I still want to do. But I'm going to do it with a shaman. The reasons for that is when I sort of went into the whole cleric thing and started a cleric. Actually, I should go back a bit before that. Actually, I mean, there was a point just after I started doing the monk videos where I was seriously considering stopping playing Everquest, because I thought to myself, I'm the sort of gamer who's quite happy to. I mean, I could run around Everfrost Peaks or Everfrost for all day. Not essentially get anywhere, and probably quite enjoy it ultimately, because that's the sort of gamer I am. I like exploring environments, and I think that's why in recent times I've kind of stopped playing a lot of the AAA games that are sort of more, I guess, the more linear sort of, more linear sort of stuff. I mean, I'm currently playing through BioShock Infinite at the moment, and I'm not particularly enjoying myself really. Nothing wrong with the game. I mean, I think the story's brilliant. Combat, unfortunately, I think has suffered because they've put so much time into presenting the story. I personally find the combat just a bit average, really, average FPS sort of stuff. But yeah, I think I'm kind of moving away from those sort of games. I'm not gaining much interest from them anymore. I think the game, sort of single player games that I'm getting the most from, I think nowadays, are indie games really. Sort of look at things like Atom Zombie Smasher and FTL, Don't Starve, Gunpoint, all those kind of things. But the AAA games that I'm playing are the sort of the open world ones, the non-linear sort of sandboxes, I guess. I played Far Cry 3 recently, and while I thought the story was shockingly bad, to be honest with you, and the characterisation was terrible. I mean, I didn't give a toss about any of the characters. What the hell is that? It's a corpse. Yeah, I didn't care about the characters at all. They were just awful characters, and yeah, I just had no interest. And in the end, I can't. I mean, I forced myself to go through the story and finish it, but in the end, I was just doing the sandboxy stuff, really. The hunting, upgrading my pouches and stuff, liberating towns, that kind of thing. Let's kill some goblins here. So I'm that sort of gamer. I mean, oh, for God's sake. Yeah, whatever. So I'm that sort of gamer. I can quite happily just run around in an environment, and if it's a bit sandboxy and I can get myself into mischief, then that's fine. I'm sort of very happy with that. So just from a point of view of playing Everquest, I could do that, and that's fine. It's eventually I'll get bored of it and stop doing it. I think that's one of the problems. But I could do that. But the other problem is the fact that I quite like creating Everquest content for YouTube. In fact, I really like doing it. It's just a game that I think is perfectly suited to it. It's just I watch sort of level 1 undercons videos, and it doesn't matter where he is or what he's doing, or even if he's been there before. It's simply a case of watching Everquest, and sometimes thinking, oh, I remember that, and yeah, you should have done that, and I know what's around the next corner, I think, and then what you find around the next corner actually isn't what you thought was there, and again, it's more discovery. So I kind of just quite like in Everquest content, but I think from a I think the difference with his videos is that you do see some progression, and you do see some different areas, whereas I think one of the things that I was concerned with my videos was that it was just the same content all the time. There really wasn't anything different happening. It was just a repetition of the same zones. And one of the reasons I started doing YouTube videos actually was just to talk about gaming. Even if I thought to myself, well, I'm going to be talking to myself. But I do think that also, I do think in an MMO it's quite important that there is some sort of progression. So that's what we're going to be going for. And I kind of started explaining why I picked the shaman, and I kind of got a bit sidetracked. But the reason I picked the shaman was a sense that when I went for the cleric, whenever I've been in a group in Everquest, one of the things and that hasn't been much, I have to say, my experience is not huge, but I've always quite liked healing. So automatically I thought the cleric, but it didn't take long to realise that probably the cleric is not you know, great class and all that, but I think you've got to be a certain type of player to play the cleric, and I'm not sure if I'm that sort of player. Druid, so that leaves it from a healing point of view. That leaves Druid and Shaman. Druid, I've been there and done it before. I love the Druid, and I have to say, I've been tempted on a few occasions to give it another go, but I've kind of held out against that. And I think probably the Shaman was the logical choice because it's I really like the Druid, and I think and I quite like the Enchanter that I was playing. Although I think the problem with that was I didn't like it enough. I didn't feel comfortable enough with the class to go into a group, and I do want to do grouping. So it kind of sort of led me to the Shaman really, because I think the Shaman is a sort of a mixture of it's its own class obviously, but I think some of the things it does is it takes some of the good parts from other classes. There's a bit of the Druid in there with the dots and the the Spirit of Wolf, which is quite important. That was one of the other things with the other classes that I played, was that I've pretty much played a Druid for the whole of my sort of gaming time on live, and you just miss Spirit of Wolf. It's one of those spells where when you haven't got it, you really notice. You really know you haven't got it. It's a big impact, and I certainly wouldn't choose a class just based on the one the one sort of spell, but certainly it does swing it sort of towards that direction. Am I going the right way? I need to go this way. I think I'm heading to Blackburrow. Yeah, so the Shaman to me just seems to be a bit of a mixture of things I quite like to do. So you've got the healing side of it. It's kind of a bit druidy. You've got the Spirit of Wolf, etc. So that would be familiar. And it would be a bit of a boon because I do quite like the spell. I like to be able to travel around pretty quickly, even if I'm not porting. But then it's kind of got elements of the Enchanter as well in a way. It's got its own form of mana regeneration, which is really good, really important. It's sort of you got the sort of dotty side again from the Druid. You got the dots. Direct damage is pretty respectable. I think it's pretty okay. It's obviously not going to be as efficient as some classes, but I think it works. You've got the slows, you've got the buffs, you've got the hastes and things. So yeah, it's an all-round awesome class. And I think from what I can tell, sort of reading on Project 1999, I think it's kind of regarded as a bit OP. But I'm not a min-maxer, so I haven't really chosen the class for that reason. It just happens to be, I think, that's how it's worked out. So yeah, so the Shaman. So what you're essentially, when I'm creating content, what you're going to be seeing is a Shaman. Now, the only thing I haven't decided on yet is what Shaman, because this is a new Shaman. He's level 6 at the moment. I've almost got a couple of stacks of Knoll Fangs that I can turn in, so that'll probably get me up to level 7 or 8 or so. But as you know, I've got two Shamans. I've got Bugrot, who's my Troll Shaman. So I'm kind of going to decide between the two which one to play. I'm not sure yet, to be perfectly honest with you. I like the whole. I do like the trolls, but I like the whole. The reason I started a barbarian is I like the whole feel of barbarians. I mean, I know that sort of anyone sort of watching will probably put the barbarian race as the third best shaman behind ogre and troll, or troll and ogre, depending on what way you want to put those around. But for me, it's not about that much, or even at all, really. I do like to pick a race that I like the flavour of. I like the look of, and sort of the tone, sort of the design, and the barbarian I do really like. So, but we'll see how we go. But that's kind of an explanation of it's kind of an explanation of what I'm going to be doing with the channel regarding Everquest. In the coming months, because I know that sort of. I think the plan is Velius to come out soon. I've kind of read on the forums that I think probably more towards the end of the year is the likely date. So yeah, I mean I would quite like to sort of get a character to a reasonable level before then. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I do want to spend quite a lot of time there because I do love the snowy environments. And I just think from a sort of an Everquest and a channel point of view, and from my own point of view as well, I think it's just a good thing that things progress. But I've said this a number of times before about sort of playing a class and whatnot. But it feels a bit different with a shaman because I've kind of been doing things that I sort of don't normally do, or I haven't done since I've come back to EverQuest on classes. I mean, I've really been studying the equipment, what equipment I can get at what level, what's the best equipment to have at the level that I am. Sort of, camps to go to that are quite good for shamans. I've even been reading about the Everquest, how that works. I'm sure I'll never ever get there, but yeah, but I've even been reading about that sort of spare time. In the spare time, if I'm not playing Everquest, I'm kind of reading about shamany stuff. So, and I haven't done that since I've come back to the game. So, I guess the only choice really is to choose a race. It's a bit of a bugger from an Everquest point, from a shaman point of view, because all the races are quite good. And I don't mean from a stat point of view or from a skills point of view. I quite like all the races that Shaman can be, just from a style point of view. I really like the ogre. I've faffed around with a Shaman ogre at low levels, an ogre Shaman I should say. I really like the Ixar. I think I really like that race. Trolls, I really love trolls. That was one of the reasons why I initially started a troll Shaman. And the barbarians as well, so it's difficult choosing. I hope I don't get caught into that trap now that I've chosen a class. I can't choose a race. I guess if I like them all, it doesn't really matter ultimately. But the only two races I have shamans of are troll and barbarian. So yeah, I think it will definitely be one of those. And I'm not a min maxer, so yeah, quite likely it could turn out to be the barbarian. Now I'm just going to have a look poke my head in Blackburrow. As I said, I've got there's quite a lot of good quests around the area. I mean, Kenos is in comparison to Freeport, it's a very quiet area to start in. If you're looking for a lot of grouping options, it's maybe not the best idea. But what's good about it is getting yourself set up and ready to go up until about level sort of 12, 13, maybe even 14. It's a good place to do that, assuming you don't mind just soloing a bit. There's some really good quests here, like the Nullfang quest. Obviously, gives you loads of experience. You've got to be careful when you're doing it. As my human monk found out, I kind of got a bit carried away, and I didn't really take notice of. I can't remember his name. Is he a dragoon or something? But yeah, there's a baddie, a bad guard in Kenos who kind of killed me a bit. Let's see what I'm pulling here. If I pull these guys, what am I getting? Am I getting 1 or am I getting 15? I'm getting 1. Okay. He's actually white, and I didn't heal myself first. Oh bugger. Okay. I might be alright because I do have some. I've got some equipment. I did kind of get twinked a little bit just to help out, and it does help a lot. I've kind of complained about twinking a bit in the past, but I think, to be honest with you, if I was able in the future, whenever I start a new class, I think I would always probably look at the twinking side of it to a certain point, not crazily, because it does make a massive difference. It just those early levels are quite tough, and just sort of up to level 10, just to get you over that hurdle, it's pretty nice. So I can maybe see myself doing that. I don't have meditate yet. Don't get that till level 8. So that's a bit of a pain in the arse. It means it takes my mana quite a long time to get back. What I have been doing is just I've just been camping outside, just those 4 knolls outside on the Everfrost side. Just been camping those essentially, just for the teeth, really, for nothing more than that. But I thought it might be quite interesting if I came in and had a look in Blackburrow. I know I've probably done a couple of videos now where I've been in Blackburrow, but that's hopefully now. What I'm planning on doing is putting in as much time as I can. I'm going on holiday soon. Next week I'm going away for about 10 days or so. But over the course of the coming months, I'm looking at putting quite a lot of time in. Just from a leveling point of view, just to get through the levels as quickly as I can. I know that it can be quite painful for a shaman up to about level 24, and some people say even after that, certainly if you're soloing, I mean my plan is to go and sort the group thing out, but if you're soloing, it can be a slow experience up to a certain point. But I'm planning on sort of punching through levels as quickly as I can, and just to get to a point where I can sort of start recording content that I haven't sort of done before. That'll be the thing to do. How are we doing on the old mana front? Well, it's going to take me ages to get my mana back. Let's have a look around the corner. There are a few There are a few gnolls spread around here. A little scrawny one. Let's give him a whack. He's going to run in a minute. We'll get that going. There we go. Yeah, some of the gnolls, even in this section here, are generally a bit higher level than the ones outside. The ones that, like the ones called a gnoll, sort of generally in this section, seem to be the toughest guys, the highest level ones. I've got some teeth to give in, so I might go and do that. Yeah, what some of the other quests that are quite good to do here, particularly for platinum early on, is have a look at the rabid wolf pelts and rabid bear pelt quest. You know, they're pretty good. I keep missing. Hey, for 10. Yeah, I keep doing those in the area. I mean, that's the thing about Kenos. It's a good area to start off because you've got the Gnoll Fang quest, which can push you up. You just can sort of prop up your levels a bit and give you a bit of a head start. But you've also got the rabid pelts, the rabid wolf and rabid bear pelts quest. I think it's in the cleric guild in Kenos, where you get some platinum for doing that, which can help. You've also got there's also a staff quest. If you find 2 bits of a staff and you take them into, I think it's a range. Oh bloody hell, he's running. If you take him into, he's going to go around a corner. Is he? Yeah, I've lost him. Bugger. He's gonna aggro. Is he going to aggro? Oh no. Well, he's going to aggro if I don't go and get him. Yeah, he's aggroed his mates. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, that's a bit too much for me. I think that I'll go through onto the other side. Yeah, there's a staff quest as well. If you go over to Jagged Pine Forest, you give the top half and the bottom half to a ranger, and you get about 9 plat, I think, or something for that. So that's a good quest to do. I think you have to kill on the Kenos side of Black Burrows. I think you have to kill Gnoll Hunters. I think they're the ones to go for. Let's sit myself down. Right, okay. So mana's going to take quite a while to regenerate. What I'll do is I think I'll probably end this video here, and what I might do is either continue this video on when I've got my mana back, or what I might do is just do a part 2. So yeah, but anyway guys, I'll be back in some form quite soon. Thanks for watching.